way to make 4K, I would say. I would very much so like to get to 4K before the patch, just in case the metagame changes so much so that yeah, Swoon, we should be able to get 4K today. I want to make sure to get to 4K before the patch. If it is tomorrow and it changes a lot with the metagame, maybe we spew a bunch of shit or whatever, I want to make sure that I'm not stuck in Elo Hell at 3800 or whatever for a bunch of games. So, hey, End of One, how you doing? No, Wonder Waddle should be pretty okay here, I would think. Oh, we have double bot lobby as well. Crazy. Okay. The fruit could be really good. What are the odds that the cut purse actually works against Fates? Not super high. I think we're going to take it anyway. I don't think I'm going to lock for that. Interesting. They took nothing. And all we have are tinies. I'm not particularly interested in getting a tiny here, so let's go ahead and roll. We'll take a mouse. We'll roll. This seems like a good lock. We can always take the cut purse and the chicken. We could even potentially get a mouse in the shop. Could even shard like the sure shot for another evil. Could be interesting. We could even do this before we take the cut purse, but it might be nice to know what the treasure is, because this could always turn into a cut purse directly, and then it's a 3-3. It's kind of nice. That's unfortunate, but what are you going to do? I think I'm just going to take it. Make all of them evil and have extra attack could be reasonable here. Makes the shard even better than the chicken, potentially. Because then everything but Billy Goat is a good hit, basically. I think we'll do that. We'll grab the sure shot and we'll go ahead and shard it. Well, of course we hit the Billy Goat because I said something, I guess. There's a world where I'm supposed to lock the chicken on Wonder Waddle, because 2 chickens is a very good way of generating economy. I think I would rather look for like Evil Queens or the mouse pair, that kind of stuff. Our combat RNG has been less than stellar so far. It'd be nice to fight the bots at some point here. So we have not encountered Krampus or the pup yet. I think I'm going to roll. Alright, we'll take our poly triple here. I think we just grab needle nose daggers. And the reason that we want the needle nose daggers is even if we lose this fight, there is good value in hitting this poly triple right away. Sorry, the poly slay. So I'm going to try and prioritize getting that slay here. So having a little bit more attack is a good way to do that. Yeah, almost any Golden 4 can carry pretty aggressively, for sure. And even if we lose the needle nose, like, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, it would be better if we don't lose, but if that has the opportunity to slay, like, it's going to be pretty good. Nice. If it hits here... Yeah, unfortunate. We actually keep the needle nose daggers on the 50-50 there. But we lose them because we lost the 50-50 to, of course, a... stupid fucking frog. We do have a big chupa, though, which is kind of cool. I think we take the pig and then roll. Triple pig is really nice here. I think we're out of this Billy. We're going to take the triple pig. And we may end up skipping, or we may take something. So this is pretty interesting here. So Cloak of the Assassin's worth plus 6/6 on both, you know, buffs both of these. Crystal Ball is obviously insane on Wonder Waddle, though we have lost a lot of health and we have a pretty weak board. We do have a Spellweaver in the shop. We could start looking towards being Hat Ball. It depends on how much I value the +3/+3 on these two. So I don't really ideally want to lean into these forever. I think I'm going to take Crystal Ball, lock the shop, and just hope that we don't run into somebody else casting deal 1 damage here. Unfortunately, they have triple support back row, so we are going to lose this combat, which is not ideal. But we'll take the Weaver, we'll reposition a bit. I think we just roll. So we could tick up the Chupacabra. Hey, Imp, how's it going? It's interesting, because if we move up the Chupacabra and it turns into a lot of the really bad hits, it's probably not great for us. I'm wondering if I just go up with the Cutpurse, because the Chupacabra is actually pretty useful here. Like, specifically on this turn. We don't really need the Potion of Heroism. The Pig is probably worth locking, though. We could do the Pig plus the Potion. The reason it's so nice to keep the Chupacabra for now is it does give a lot of attack. It's very likely to slay at 18, and putting 7 attack on the Weaver is pretty good. It's unfortunate that we lose our gold out of this, but this can make the cat have a little bit of extra stats. Okay, that was a pretty good hit. The range probably would have been a better snipe there, but okay, this combat has gone very well for us so far, and we get a ton of extra gold. We're getting 5 extra gold. So this turn should be pretty huge. Let's take the pig, let's take the chicken, let's cast the potion here, and then let's roll. We can probably move up the Chupacabra now, or we can hit this. I think those are both viable options. I think we're going to move the Chupacabra up. Turns into a big apple tree. Not the best, but not the worst. I think I can probably skip this for gold. We can grab the poly and roll. But I'm fine with fork. Like, the 5s don't matter as much. I think fork is pretty good. I'm trying to figure out how to position this. I think we can put this in the front. We can put this in. This is just, like, the same as that. I'm trying to figure out if we want this Sporko. Probably. We're against a bot, so I wasn't terribly concerned. Which, given that we were against the bot, I maybe should have positioned a little bit differently to try and leverage my slays. Though I didn't necessarily want my poly to slay. I did put the money cat in the spot that I wanted, so there's not really another way that we can get more gold out of this. We're already getting, like, a pretty substantial amount. We have no good units because of this. This is probably fine to cast. I don't think we need to really buff the poly. We're going to try and do something with the poly later. We can take the donkey if we sell out of the Cinderella. Okay, we can dump the chicken then if we're actually tripling something. Alright, so we have Hat Ball now. So let's buff this so we can get some health. So how are we positioning this? We can put this in the front. Something like this, maybe. We are against Krampus bots, so maybe this. You know what? We already have plenty of pig gold potential. I think we're going to position this way. Before we get rid of the Corrupted Heartwood, I'd like to make a good familiar if possible, but it may not be viable. We could also change one of these elements to good, and that would be fine as well. Oh, Jesus. Okay, that actually doesn't matter. Yeah, we're fine. Our frogs are huge. They have Crown of Atlas, which is like a total non-bow. We got our sleigh here. We should get all of our pig gold as well. So we're getting another 10 gold here. Yeah, it's a two bot lobby. It's very weird. Let's take that. Let's roll. Let's take a royal. We can eat the donkey because we don't need the 3 anymore. That's fine. So now we're kind of looking for, like, Aeons. And things to go with that. Aeon is good. EXP is good. So let's position this in the front here. Money Cat can be here. We are against somebody who is strong. We can maybe prioritize a little differently, I guess. Maybe something like this. That should have switched over. Hopefully we don't take a ton of damage for that, though. That was a pretty good outcome for us. This is not the best. There's no way for us to keep the pig, so if the pig dying there is fine. But we do win combat, which is nice. Put some extra health on the tree. We buy the chicken for sure. And then skip. And we're going to eat something. Probably just the second pig. Okay. So we don't really want to shard this, but I think I'm just going to roll away from it. I do want to get some stats on this Aeon. The Lady of the Lake maybe was worth picking up. We still might transform this poly, but yeah, it could have been fine to eat it the other way. So we want this Aeon. I guess we are probably out of this poly. I don't think that we're good boying. The Good Witch is pretty dog shit. They have Round Table here. So if we can kill them, that would be ideal. We are not able to kill them here, but we can deal a bit of damage. And we get a Storm King, which is pretty nice. We'll take this, see if we can get a fork. We do not. We can get rid of the corrupted heartwood. We don't actually need it anymore. We can just take a 6 of shields, I think. I don't believe that we grab Hercules. I think we just roll. We can start moving this up to something else. We can maybe pig to close the door on them, but I don't think we have to. A second Storm King is obviously, like, pretty wild here. This can go on the back now. I mean, probably just trying to shut the door. We maybe put the Storm King in over the pig. Locking up top 4 is quite strong, especially since we're trying to climb. And this gives us a pretty reasonable chance to actually kill them here. Especially with the double ranged and the apple tree. The position on these maybe could be swapped so that we shoot a little bit harder. Though it may not actually matter a ton. Especially considering how strong our apple tree has been this game. Okay, so they are dead. Bots are both dead. Let's buff a bit more attack here or here. Let's just go on the Aeon, I think. It's odd that we've found 0 familiars. I wonder if Horde Dragon is just, like, bogarting them all. I honestly want to hit back here so that we have a thing that we can shard for later. Unfortunate. These are not really that good. I guess we take Singing Sword and maybe try to transition away from this. We can put the pig back in. Something like this is probably okay. We'll give a kidnap. Not transition, that's not the right word. It allows us to trade favorably with trees if we end up running into them later, like from Mad Cat or whatever. A little bit better, and I think that's maybe worth it. So, let's hit this Storm King. That would be pretty sick. We tripled our Aeon. I guess that's pretty good. That's not ideal. So they did have the Wizard's Familiar. We lose our pig. That's too bad. Pretty awkward on the spells there. Do I just skip this? Probably. I think we just skip. This makes another cat. That's not worth it. I will take the Spellweaver so that we can eventually triple it. Or theoretically eventually triple it. Almost want this Blind Mouse, but... Huh. I think it's worth cutting the pig now. Not like this unit is particularly strong, but overall the pig is pretty risky to have in general. and I think we can just, like, get off of it entirely. Obviously, we would have been strong enough to get the extra gold on it, but we really don't need the extra gold. I think casting the spell was more valuable there, though I could have sold the Vampire instead, probably. I opted to keep it, and maybe it was just wrong. I want to get some extra health on these. I mean, we're pretty strong here, but they are Zelhua now, so who knows? We may just be completely outclassed by trees. If they have Singing Sword trees, then the Poison Apple doesn't do anything. It's a bit awkward. We found a Wizard's Familiar. Do we think that we can reasonably cast, like, enough spells to make that worthwhile? I don't think so, huh? Wow, these are fucking terrible. Really terrible. Currently, if they have Singing Sword, it does not work on Burning Trees, no. If they don't have Singing Sword, it does. So it really depended on if they actually had the treasures or not. It looked like they didn't, so it would have been fine. I'm pretty sure that I'm supposed to just hit this Rotten Apple Tree and do a 6. But the Apple Tree is quite strong. I think I'm just going to start moving this up and turning it into something else. A Princess Monster is actually good for us here. Let's triple this. And then just skip. Let's get some attack here. I don't know if these really need to have 200 attack. Though I guess this doesn't really need to have it either, so this is probably fine. Pigo, while this would help us win a fight, I don't think that that is what we need for the long term. Since, realistically, we're going to have to fight this opponent for a bunch of turns in a row. So we need to try and be a little bit more aware of that. Yeah, we need Fork or Wand would be good. That's not ideal. But having a unit in the front still alive is pretty strong. Not attacking with the Aeon is unfortunate, but I don't think it matters a ton overall. Yes, but I want to cast other spells. Like, I'm already winning the fight. I need to be casting other spells to be successful, not, like, because I would have been locking up, like, 8 gold or something, which is too much gold to actually prevent in that spot. We could put one of these into a croc, though I don't think that really helps us a ton. It does put more Storm Kings back into the pool, but I think I'd rather just roll. Let's drink me. These are terrible. I guess this is okay. The Vulture, probably not super good here. I'm going to hold on to the Knighthood for this turn. Yeah, it wasn't from the Drink Me. That second Drink Me was actually from... Oh, that's not good. Oh, really? They have a 1 in 7 that spell doesn't do anything, and it hit it? That's too bad. That was a good outcome for us, though. And so was that. So they are 1 hit away. It wasn't the Drink Me that gave it. We cast a spell, and then the ball gave us the other one, so... let's keep getting some attack here. I really need to move this up to something else, or just replace it entirely. Oh, these are some really awkward sets of things. Puts it out of range of Smite, which is nice. We're gonna just die with this Knighthood in our hand. Or they're gonna die with a Knighthood in our hand. Which I guess is fine if we win. It doesn't really matter, huh? Trying to think of the things that I would actually Knighthood here. We might lose this one. What would I actually want to hit? If we hit the ranged, like, then we are in an okay spot. So then we just take damage from this. I wonder what we would even want this to be. I guess a Storm King is probably it, huh? I mean, I literally just don't even have any units. Kind of sad. Okay, that'll do. I mean, honestly, just like, fuck this dude. Well, we remained disciplined. We waited to croc the units that actually mattered, and I believe that it'll work out just fine here. We should be able to kill this with the stats that we have. We tie. That's too bad. I suppose I should have put one of the Storm Kings in the back then. We're getting to the point where they're getting too large for us, which is not ideal. But now we're kind of just looking for a combat spell. Fog does make their ranged useless. Which might be good enough. Alright, we'll lock for the Kraken. We can probably do this. We don't need these to have 1,000 attack. We can put our biggest one in the back. It's this one. so that this is more likely to trade with our opponent's trees. There's a world where we eventually put the Spellweaver in the front, but it is a bit awkward if they... if they end up fogging us. That could have been a better hit. But it looks like we're good here. Alright. So it took us a lot longer to close that than I would have liked, certainly. But that will work out just fine, and that should get us to 4K, so pretty good. Pretty good outcome. Okay, so let me mark this as a first, plus 50, Waddle on mages. Cool. Alright, that's it. That's the stream. We got to 4K. We're done. Everybody pack it up, go home. Obviously, that's ridiculous. We're going to play more, but we can edit our stream title now here.